Chris Christie running for president. Not sure if you guys heard about this, but he's
shaking things up.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while.
Former Trump transition team member, Chris Christie.
Infamously, the most, like, the first, I think, presidential candidate in 2016 to drop out. I was going to say the first major figure, but Jeff Sessions was the first senator to endorse him. Yeah. And he was rewarded with a position, then promptly thrown under the bus. Chris Christie also was in a similar situation because Trump has no loyalty to anybody but himself.
You guys remember that he was the opioid czar? Chris Christie for the Trump administration? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's why that problem is solved now.
But Chris Christie, I will argue here, is at least presenting himself in a way that is strong, and he'll probably like top out at 4th place in Iowa, but this is a much better tactic, at least for me, than DeSantis essentially peeing down his leg every time he's asked to criticize Trump and not even being able to pronounce his name in public, and Nikki Haley being like trying to tout her United Nations experience as if the average Republican voter cares, and then speaking about Dylan Mulvaney. No one gives a crap. This kind of stuff at least differentiates yourself. Here he goes, Chris Christie at a town hall in New Hampshire.
Let me tell you something, everybody. The grift from this family is breathtaking. It's breathtaking. Jared Kushner and Ivanka Kushner walk out of the White House and months later get $2 billion from the Saudis. $2 billion from the Saudis. You think it's because he's some kind of investing genius? Or do you think it's because he was sitting next to the President of the United States for 4 years doing favors for the Saudis? That's your money. That's your money he stole and gave it to his family. You know what that makes us? A banana republic.
All right, that's not true.
Yeah, I think you kind
we're
of
an Old Navy at best.
Plot a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, like what happened was that the Saudis paid. Well, okay, maybe they stole his coins. They stole on the front end. The back end payments of the Saudis rewarding the Kushners with the $2 billion later was for all the favors that you did for us and letting us get away with killing Jamal Khashoggi. Regardless, right? I don't know what you guys think. I just feel like if you're running in Trump's party, if you actually are running to win, you've got to make a point to hit him from the outset. And I think DeSantis is completely behind in the race.
They're flailing. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, because he spent like 6 months pre-running and didn't attack Trump at all. And now he's scrambling to catch up when Trump set the narrative already. At least get out ahead like Christie's trying to do.
I think rhetorically, Christie's very strong. I think because he's a bully. You know, he's from New Jersey, I guess. You know,
yeah,
he's representing New Jersey. Yeah.
Marco Rubio's still licking his wounds over it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The robot malfunctioning. That was a top tier moment. He was one of the only Republicans to actually get in. Yeah, it was a sick bird. And he knows where to hit, you know, certain people, I guess. The problem is that no one likes him. Like, that's just ultimately the truth. Like, he's not popular. And so, like, even if he tries to come for Trump, Trump is not going to, like, flinch like Marco Rubio did. And he's just too, like, you know, he's too East Coasty. You know, take from that what you will, like too Italian, too gregarious. Like, it's not going to play well in Iowa. The same things that were true in 2016 are still true. And now he has even less, you know, familiarity, less name recognition. So I don't think he's going to actually do very well, but certainly in the debates, he's not going to be the one that Trump has the easiest time rolling over.
Yeah,
it's you know, I think Christie's lane was taken over by Trump in 2016, obviously, and you know, this time around is going to be no different. You can't bully the biggest bully of them all successfully, at the very least. Like, he'll get in some jabs, but at the end of the day, Trump's final blow is going to be way worse than whatever Christie dished out to him.
But he has the trash talk chops, I would say, at least.
He doesn't have the cachet anymore, though. He's lost the point. He's a nobody in that party now. You know, and I also think it's a hard point to make when you're saying that, you know, Jared Kushner got a big payday from after he left the White House due to his work in the administration which I also worked for side by side with Jared.
And I'm famously corrupt myself.
Well, that's it.
That's the other one.
The other one is the Bridgegate thing, which people just need to Google.
Hey, at least that wasn't for money. That was for political gain. So.
Yeah, right. A little different. But let's play this moment here, though, just because it was a beautiful moment in time when Chris Christie went after Marco Rubio at the debate, because Rubio repeated the same phrase like 3 times.
Yeah, here you go.
And let's dispel once and for all with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. But I would add this. Let's dispel with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. Facts. Here's the bottom line. This notion that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing is just not true.
There it is.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
The memorized 25-second speech.
Well, that's the reason why this campaign is so important.
To the Gang of 8 bill first.
Well, here's the response. I think anyone who believes that Barack Obama isn't doing what he's doing on purpose doesn't understand what we're dealing with here. Okay? This is a president who is trying to change this country.
Because Christie had called it out earlier. But I think Binder, you're right in like practical terms that Chris Christie's not going to do well in the primary because he's missed his moment. He actually honestly missed it in 2012 when he could have brought the Trump bully energy with more cachet at that point, and he would have been a more formidable challenge to Obama, I think, than Mitt Romney. But then Trump came on the scene as King Bully, and he became a bit redundant. But and
the aura of Chris Christie was really positive then too.
Yes.
Like he was seen as like this is the future of the Republican Party. They're getting away from that crazy Southern hyper religious socially conservative, and they're getting back to telling it like it is. Well, that was like the Christie mantra.
They also had like photos of him like doing Sandy cleanup and all that other like bullshit. So like he was, forget where the money went, but like they had photos of him like standing in rubble, a la Rudy Giuliani. So he was seen as like the kind of person who gets his hands dirty.
Yeah, and then those images of him on the beach came out. But
also
the closed beach.
This time around, I view any candidate who is out there, who has like a no chance candidate like Christie. I view any candidate like that who's making their entire campaign going after Trump. I simply view it as them being a DeSantis supporter trying to help DeSantis win. That's how I view it. That's how I view it.
Or they're making a show of it and they'll later like endorse Trump. But like, I mean, I think your thing is probably more likely. Trump has actually done the first shot across the bow when it comes to bullying Chris Christie.
Oh, good.
With this True Social from last September, which I'll read it. It's a picture of Chris Christie at a buffet line alone, saying
Jesus,
Chris Christie at a Roy Rogers at 11 p.m. in the evening trying to console himself.
September of last year, like what he was just catching straight.
I don't
just grabbing something to eat because he's hungry. Gosh,
like I think Chris Christie. Look, I think it is the hardest energy anyone's came at Trump here, but I think Christie's also going to demonstrate why nobody wants to go that hard at Trump, because Trump is going to be absolutely brutal.
But if you're not DeSantis and you're not Trump, this is the only lane. This is the only lane, right? I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that, but if I were one of these guys trying to differentiate myself, and if you are I forget. If it was you, Binder, or you, Matt, that just made this point, but if you are trying to cozy up to like Republican powers that be that want Trump out of here, you being a wrecker and going after Trump, oh my God, is probably beneficial for you even if you don't win. So this is the latest.
Why does Trump talks like he's like in really good shape, but how many times did Chris Christie use the word small? Does he have a psychological problem with size?
Oh my God. This was the guy that bragged about his penis size on the debate stage, Donald Trump.
Actually, his speech was small and not very good. It rambled all over the place and nobody had a clue what he was talking about. I mean, it says Trump.
Projection.
Rosie O'Donnell had no idea what she was saying. Hard to watch, boring, but that's what you get from a failed governor in New Jersey. I like how you think of mine.
I have to remind you where he's from in case you forgot.
Who left office with a 7% approval rating and then got run out of New Hampshire. This time, it won't be any different. That is a good point. Like, I think Emma might be right, but I also think the only state ready for that is New Hampshire.
Yeah, right. I mean, and the thing about Christie is he will get like Midas Touch on Twitter is going to retweet the hell out of this dude, and Lincoln Project's going to go from 6 to midnight. I apologize when they see his campaign platform, but like for Republican voters, again, they just want the real thing. But I still maintain that if you're not Trump or even DeSantis, you've got to go on the offensive because Trump is so good at setting the narrative for you. And at least Christie hit him first.
I think the danger, though, is going on the offensive so early is that he's going to just wear at you with these little jabs. Like, Trump is always going to get the most media attention. You know, now that it's okay to put him on TV again, we're not like a month post January 6th. Everyone is just going to be wanting to hear what he has to say. And if you make yourself a target early, there's a chance you don't even make it to the first debate. I mean, DeSantis has the money to make it, but maybe Christie doesn't this time. I mean, obviously there are endless billionaires who can give him, their pocket change so that he can run all the way till the end. But
I mean, is Christie even going to get the 40,000 individual donors you need to make it to the debate stage? That's what these Republicans each need to make it to the debates. 40,000 individual donors. Doesn't matter how much they get. It's the individual number of 40,000 donors. I could see someone like Christie not being able to hit that.
There are at least that many people in New Jersey, so I'm sure, and some of them will give.
Yeah, and they all support Trump.
That's true. Yeah. There are a lot of cops.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm from New Jersey. I like Chris Christie was my governor when I lived there. He's known to be a bully and an asshole.
Trump is right about the approval. Like, he was universally despised at the end of his time as governor.
Yes, and part of that was
completely reviled
because of the insane corruption.
Wasn't there that famous photo? Was it for COVID that he did it? I don't remember.
Yes.
Wasn't there?
No, it wasn't.
It was
it was the hurricane. He shut down the beaches for the hurricane.
He wasn't governor when COVID. Right. Yeah, that famous picture of the state parks being shut down and Chris Christie and family enjoying the public beach that he shut down as if it was like a private property.
Mm-hmm. And also, in terms of his economic stewardship, if he ever wants to do a common sense, I'm the guy who knows how to govern. He literally downgraded New Jersey's credit rating while he was governor, and also bankrupted the pension system.
Yes, he did. Yes.